Morning all. Like take a seat, please.
You've got the power.
Why don't we start with our affirmation and then get ourselves into shape? Okay. Councillors, members of the public, we seek wisdom, understanding, insights into the views and circumstances of others, strength to seek what we believe in, a humility to accept the combined decision of others, patience, good humour at all times, tolerance and courtesy while working in the best interests of this great place. Okay. Let's get that out of the way. Put that.
It's not particularly nasty, is it? Sorry. Your nose will be overly sensitive.
Keep that too. Okay. Councillors, you've all got the Auckland achievements. And I want to acknowledge the only apology for today. One or two vacancies around the room. It's Councillor Wayne.
Oh, and Councillor Penny Webster, who's in Wellington on council business.
died on the 24th of March at the age of...
It's John Duffy's dad.
I next want to acknowledge Dorothy Jelicic QSO, former Manukau and Hamilton City Councillor and Hamilton West MP. Dorothy Jelicic died on the 10th of April, aged 87. She was a passionate advocate of the community she served and for women's rights. I encourage you to look at her CV one day. She was the first woman in so many things in our political spectrum, both local, regional and national. She served in the Manukau City Council from 1980 to 1995, following on from her political career, 3 years service as an MP in Hamilton in the 1970s. She was the first New Zealand woman to be a United Nations delegate after leading an all-woman delegation to the United Nations Population Conference in Romania in 1974. She was also known for her interest in young people and encouraging them to serve their communities. I thank those who were present at her funeral. Judge Mick Brown, CNZM. Judge Mick was an iconic and influential figure in the youth justice system. Mick Brown was a foster child who grew up to be the first Māori judge of the District Court, the principal youth court judge, and a force for world-leading revolutionary change to youth justice. He is recognised as having overhauled the youth justice system in New Zealand, pioneering legal approaches involving young people, their families and communities that continue to gain international interest. He was also instrumental in major changes to the way child, youth and family services operated. Judge Brown's leadership was recognised with the Blake Medal in 2013, and in 2006 he received an Auckland City Council Mayor's Living Legend Award. He surely was. Colleagues speaking after his death spoke of a humble, compassionate and determined man and a great orator. He also served on various charitable trusts, including the Auckland Cricket Association, the Alcohol and Liquor Advisory Council, the Child Development Foundation of New Zealand, and he also received Distinguished Alumni Awards from Mount Albert Grammar and the University of Auckland. He was also Chancellor and Pro-Vice-Chancellor Māori at the University of Auckland. During his term, the University Marae was open and the proportion of Māori students doubled to 6% of the roll. He was an advocate for addressing Māori aspirations in a bicultural society. His tribal affiliations were Ngāti Kahu, Te Aupuri, Te Raurawa and Ngā Puhi. He passed away on April the 2nd, aged 77. I want to acknowledge Sir John Ingram, CBE. Sir John, a great business leader, died on the 1st of April, aged 90. He was the first managing director of NZ Steel, appointed in 1969. He held directorships at Feltex, IBM, Pacific Steel and the National Bank, and was president of the Auckland Manufacturers Association and served on the University of Auckland Council for nearly 20 years. He was awarded a Commander of the Order of the British Empire in 1984 for services to manufacturing and engineering, and was knighted in the 1994 New Year's Honours. He was also a strong supporter of World Schools NZ, a charitable trust dedicated to encouraging young people to excel in vocational skills by taking part in trade competitions. After his retirement, he was a trustee of the World Wildlife Fund and the Antarctic Heritage Trust, and was a member of the Auckland Area Health Board and Waitangi Tribunal. I would next like to recognise John Rutherford, MC. John was a long-serving member of the Rotary Club of Auckland and honorary life member. John joined Rotary in 1948 and served as club president from 1965-66. He served in North Africa and the Mediterranean in World War II in the 5th Field Regiment, 2nd NZ Expeditionary Force. He was awarded the Military Cross for his courage, leadership and resourcefulness during a capture and subsequent escape, assisting a wounded fellow officer in the Western Desert. He died on March the 28th at the age of 96. Last but certainly not least, I would like to recognise a legend of local government in New Zealand, Rana Cardno. New New Zealand's longest serving female mayor, Rana, died on April the 23 after battling cancer. She was a pillar of local government in New Zealand, serving as Southland District Mayor from 1992 until 2013. Her service to local government was recognised with a companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit, as well as being honoured by Local Government New Zealand in the inaugural LGNZ Excellence Award for her outstanding contribution to local government. She was a member of the LGNZ National Council and was a champion for community boards and for women's involvement in local government. She surely was a passionate advocate for her community and for the environment. She was the first female councillor and then mayor of her district. One of her first experiences when elected as a councillor in Southland was to discover that the council would have a meal together before meetings at the local working men's club, which did not admit women. She would have changed that pretty quick. She received a number of awards while in office, including the Jean Harris Award for Development and Progress of Women in Society and the United Nations Certificate as an Outstanding Woman in Local Government. Councillors, can you please join me with the public in standing for all of those fine people? Thank you very much. Okay.